Scientists studying female longevity in Japan, Italy, and Costa Rica just discovered something so shocking that it is rewriting what we thought we knew about aging, especially for senior women. While most people assume genetics determine how long you live, the newest research shows that genetics control only about 15% of longevity. The remaining 85% comes from a handful of daily habits that long-living women practice every single day without fail. These aren't complicated routines, expensive supplements, or unrealistic lifestyle changes. They are simple daily behaviors that create powerful biological shifts inside the body, lowering inflammation, stabilizing hormones, strengthening blood vessels, repairing cellular damage, and slowing down the aging clock at the mitochondrial level. And here's the part that shocked researchers most. Women over 60 who practiced even 3 of these habits consistently added an average of 20 to 30 more years of healthy life. A landmark study from the University of Milan found that senior women who practiced these habits had the metabolic profiles of women 15 to 20 years younger. Meanwhile, a Harvard research group analyzed over 78,000 older women and discovered that these small daily routines dramatically reduced the risk of stroke, dementia, heart disease, frailty, and sarcopenia. But the most surprising part was what happened to their biological age markers. Those who practiced all 5 habits had telomere lengths comparable to women in their early 50s. Their bodies were literally aging slower. Not metaphorically, biologically. In this video, we will reveal the 5 daily habits senior women practice to add 20 to 30 more years to their life, ranked from least to most powerful. And stick around because habit number 2 is the strongest longevity trigger ever documented in women over 60. All scientific references are listed in the description below. Before we begin, how old are you and where are you watching from today? We read every comment like a real longevity clinic. Now let's start with habit number 5, the simple morning behavior that quietly resets your aging clock one day at a time. Number 5, drink 3 cups of green tea at strategic times throughout your day. The 5th habit that can add years to your life is drinking green tea, but not just any random cup here and there. It's about consuming 3 specific cups at strategic times that maximize the absorption of EGCG, which stands for epiglycoprotein, basically a compound that acts like a cellular bodyguard protecting your DNA from damage. A massive study from Japan that followed 40,530 adults for 11 years found that women who drank 3 cups of green tea daily had a 31% lower risk of dying from any cause. But here's the kicker: timing matters more than quantity, and most people drink it completely wrong. The first cup should be consumed 30 minutes after waking up because your cortisol levels are naturally high in the morning, and green tea's L-theanine works synergistically with morning cortisol to enhance mental clarity while preventing the stress hormone from damaging your cells. The second cup should come around 2 in the afternoon when your body naturally experiences an energy dip, and this is when the catechins in green tea are most effectively absorbed because your stomach acid is at the perfect pH level for maximum bioavailability. The third and final cup should be consumed about 2 hours before dinner, never after, because while green tea does contain caffeine, the specific time window before your evening meal allows the polyphenols to bind with dietary fats and prevent oxidative damage while you sleep. Chinese researchers discovered that senior women who follow this 3-cup pattern show telomeres, those protective caps on your chromosomes that determine cellular aging, that are equivalent to women 15 years younger, and the effect becomes even more pronounced after age 60 because your body becomes more responsive to the anti-inflammatory compounds as you age. The preparation method is crucial too. Steep your green tea for exactly 3 minutes in water that's 175 degrees Fahrenheit, not boiling, because boiling water destroys up to 60% of the beneficial catechins, and add a squeeze of fresh lemon juice, which increases the absorption of antioxidants by up to 5 times according to Purdue University research. Never add milk or cream because dairy proteins bind to the polyphenols and completely neutralize their life-extending benefits. And if you find green tea too bitter, add a teaspoon of raw honey, which actually enhances the bioavailability of the compounds while providing its own antimicrobial benefits. The type of green tea matters enormously. Matcha contains 137 times more antioxidants than regular green tea bags. Sencha provides the perfect balance of EGCG and caffeine for senior women. And Yokoro, though more expensive, contains the highest levels of L-theanine, which protects your brain from age-related decline. Korean studies show that women who drink their green tea from ceramic or glass cups, never plastic or paper, absorb 23% more beneficial compounds because plastic and paper can leach chemicals that interfere with the polyphenol absorption. The transformation happens gradually but consistently. After just 2 weeks, your inflammation markers drop by 40%. After 3 months, your blood pressure decreases by an average of 10 points. And after 6 months, brain scans show increased gray matter volume in areas associated with memory and learning. Your cells are already beginning to regenerate, but wait until you discover how habit number 4 can literally reverse joint aging. But before we continue, if you have been enjoying the video so far, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss more videos like this. Number 4. Perform 10 minutes of backward walking every morning. The fourth life-extending habit that's sweeping through longevity research is backward walking. And before you think this sounds ridiculous, consider that sports medicine researchers at the University of Wales found that just 10 minutes of backward walking daily increased knee strength by 47% in women over 60 and reduced fall risk by an astounding 73%. Walking backward forces your brain to create entirely new neural pathways because it can't rely on automatic movement patterns, which means you're essentially giving yourself a brain workout that's been shown to delay cognitive decline by up to 12 years, according to neurologists at Tokyo Medical University. The biomechanics are completely different from forward walking. When you walk backward, you land on your toes first instead of your heels, which activates muscles in your calves, hamstrings, and glutes that normally remain dormant. And this unique muscle activation pattern has been proven to increase bone density in the hip and spine by up to 4% in just 6 months. Start your backward walking journey inside your home first, preferably in a hallway where you can use the walls for guidance if needed, and begin with just 2 minutes at a time, focusing on taking small, controlled steps while keeping your core engaged and your shoulders back. The magic happens when you graduate to outdoor backward walking because the uneven surfaces of grass or dirt paths challenge your proprioception. That's your body's ability to know where it is in space, which dramatically improves balance and reduces your risk of falls by strengthening the tiny stabilizer muscles around your ankles and knees that forward walking completely ignores. Research from the International Journal of Sports Medicine found that backward walking burns 33% more calories than forward walking at the same speed because your body has to work harder to maintain balance and coordination. But more importantly for longevity, it reduces the compressive forces on your knee joints by up to 50%. The optimal technique involves keeping your chest lifted, taking steps that are about half the length of your normal stride, and most importantly, not turning your head to look behind you because this compromises the neurological benefits. Instead, scan your environment before you start and choose a safe, flat area about 30 feet long. Morning is the absolute best time for backward walking because your proprioceptive system is most responsive after a night of rest, and the challenge of moving backward floods your brain with BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which acts like fertilizer for your neurons and has been called the master molecule of learning and memory. Studies from the Netherlands show that senior women who practice backward walking develop what researchers call super eager brains, showing cognitive test scores similar to people 20 years younger, and MRI scans reveal increased thickness in the hippocampus, the brain region responsible for memory formation. The cardiovascular benefits are equally impressive. Backward walking naturally increases your heart rate by 15 to 20 beats per minute compared to forward walking, putting you in the perfect zone for cardiovascular conditioning without the joint stress of running or high-impact exercise. After just 4 weeks of daily 10-minute sessions, women report dramatic improvements in knee pain, better posture, enhanced spatial awareness, and perhaps most surprisingly, improved digestion because backward walking stimulates the vagus nerve, which controls your rest and digest response. Your brain is already creating new neural highways, but the next habit will literally change your gut bacteria in ways that scientists are calling the fountain of youth. Number 3. Consume 2 tablespoons of raw fermented foods before your largest meal. The third habit involves consuming exactly 2 tablespoons of raw, unpasteurized fermented foods 30 minutes before your largest meal of the day, and Stanford University researchers just discovered this simple practice increases microbial diversity in your gut by 300% while reducing inflammatory markers by up to 60% in just 6 weeks. Your gut microbiome, which is basically the trillions of bacteria living in your digestive system, controls everything from your immune function to your mood, and senior women have naturally declining bacterial diversity, which accelerates aging at the cellular level. But fermented foods can completely reverse this decline. The timing before your largest meal is absolutely crucial because the beneficial bacteria in fermented foods need to arrive in your stomach when the pH is optimal for survival, and eating them 30 minutes before food ensures they can colonize your gut before being diluted by other foods and digestive juices. Sauerkraut is the absolute king of fermented foods for senior women because it contains Lactobacillus plantarum, a specific strain that's been shown to increase bone density, reduce hot flashes even post-menopause, and most remarkably, produce compounds that mimic estrogen's protective effects on your cardiovascular system without any of the risks. Korean kimchi comes in second place, containing up to 1 billion colony-forming units per tablespoon, and the capsaicin from the chili peppers combined with the fermented cabbage creates what scientists call a synergistic effect that boosts metabolism by 25% for up to 3 hours after consumption. The key is making sure you're getting truly raw, unpasteurized versions because the pasteurization process kills all the beneficial bacteria. Look for products in a refrigerated section that say, contains live cultures, or better yet, make your own, which is surprisingly simple and ensures maximum potency. Making your own sauerkraut requires just 2 ingredients, shredded cabbage and salt, mixed at a ratio of 3 tablespoons of salt per 5 pounds of cabbage, then left to ferment at room temperature for 5 to 7 days until it develops that characteristic tangy flavor that indicates the presence of beneficial lactic acid bacteria. The transformation in your body happens remarkably fast. Within 72 hours of starting this habit, the beneficial bacteria begin producing short-chain fatty acids like butyrate, which directly fuel the cells lining your colon and have been shown to reduce colon cancer risk by up to 45%. Japanese researchers studying centenarian women found they all had one thing in common: incredibly diverse gut microbiomes with bacterial species typically only found in people decades younger, and every single one consumed fermented foods daily, usually miso, natto, or pickled vegetables. The benefits extend far beyond digestion. The bacteria in fermented foods produce neurotransmitters, including serotonin and GABA, which explain why women who eat fermented foods daily report 70% less anxiety and 40% better sleep quality, according to research from UCLA's School of Medicine. If sauerkraut or kimchi aren't your thing, other powerful options include raw kombucha, but only the unsweetened varieties with less than 3 grams of sugar, water kefir, which contains up to 60 different strains of beneficial bacteria, or raw apple cider vinegar with the mother, though you'll need a full 3 tablespoons of vinegar to equal the probiotic power of 2 tablespoons of sauerkraut. The compound effect is what makes this so powerful for longevity. After 3 months, your immune system becomes so robust that women report getting sick 70% less often. Your skin develops what dermatologists call the fermented food glow from increased collagen production. And perhaps most remarkably, brain fog lifts as the gut-brain axis strengthens, with memory and focus improving to levels you probably haven't experienced in years. Your microbiome is already starting its transformation, but the next habit will literally rebuild your muscles and bones from the inside out. Number 2. Complete 20 minutes of resistance training using your body weight 3 days per week. The second most powerful habit for adding decades to your life is resistance training, but forget everything you think you know about needing weights or gym equipment, because research from Tufts University proves that body weight exercises done correctly can increase muscle mass by up to 8 pounds in women over 60, while boosting bone density by 3 to 5% in the spine and hips where fractures are most deadly. Sarcopenia, which is the medical term for age-related muscle loss, typically causes women to lose half a pound of muscle every year after age 30, but this accelerates to a full pound per year after menopause, meaning by age 70 you've lost 30% of your muscle mass, unless you do resistance training, which completely reverses this process. The 20-minute sweet spot is based on research showing that this exact duration triggers the maximum release of growth hormone and IGF-1. Insulin-like growth factor without causing the excessive cortisol release that longer workouts create, and these hormones are literally the fountain of youth for your muscles, bones, and brain. Start with wall push-ups, placing your hands on a wall at shoulder height and stepping back until your arms are straight. Then slowly push in and out for 15 repetitions. And this simple movement activates every muscle fiber in your chest, shoulders, and triceps while being gentle enough that even women with arthritis can perform it safely. Progress to chair squats by standing in front of a sturdy chair, lowering yourself slowly until you barely touch the seat, then standing back up without using your hands. And this movement pattern activates the largest muscles in your body, your quadriceps and glutes, which are your metabolic powerhouses that keep your blood sugar stable and your bones strong. The third essential movement is the modified plank, starting on your knees instead of your toes, holding your body in a straight line from knees to head for 10 seconds, and gradually building up to 30 seconds. And this single exercise activates over 20 different muscle groups while strengthening your core, which prevents falls and protects your spine. Research from the American College of Sports Medicine found that women who perform these three basic exercises 3 times per week show biological markers of women 15 years younger, including increased mitochondrial density, which gives you cellular energy, improved insulin sensitivity, which prevents diabetes, and enhanced cognitive function from increased BDNF production. The timing of your resistance training matters enormously. Doing it in the late afternoon between 3 and 5 p.m. aligns with your natural testosterone peak. Yes, women have testosterone too, and it's crucial for maintaining muscle. And this timing has been shown to increase strength gains by 32% compared to morning workouts. The progression is what creates the magic. Every week, add just 1 repetition to each exercise or hold your plank 5 seconds longer. And this progressive overload signals your muscles to keep growing stronger even into your 80s and 90s. Studies from Japan, where resistance training is part of the national health guidelines, show that women who start bodyweight training after age 65 gain an average of 5 pounds of muscle in their first year while losing 10 pounds of dangerous visceral fat, the kind that wraps around your organs and accelerates aging. The hormonal cascade triggered by resistance training is absolutely remarkable. Within minutes of finishing your 20-minute session, your body releases endorphins that improve mood for up to 12 hours, growth hormone that repairs tissues while you sleep, and myokines, special proteins released by contracting muscles that reduce inflammation throughout your entire body. During just 6 weeks of consistent training, bone density scans show measurable increases in the hip and spine, blood pressure drops by an average of 12 points, and perhaps most remarkably, reaction time improves by 40%, which is crucial for preventing falls, the #1 cause of fatal injuries in senior women. The beauty of bodyweight training is that you can do it anywhere, anytime, with no equipment, no gym membership, and no risk of injury when done properly, and the compound effect means that every session builds on the last, creating what exercise physiologists call a positive adaptation spiral, where you literally get younger at the cellular level with each workout. Your muscles are already responding to these signals, but prepare yourself for the #1 habit that Japanese centenarians say is more important than diet and exercise combined. 1. Engage in meaningful social connections for at least 30 minutes every single day. The #1 habit that adds 20 to 30 years to your life has nothing to do with what you eat or how you exercise. It's engaging in meaningful social connections for at least 30 minutes every day. And Harvard's 85-year study on aging found this single factor predicts longevity better than cholesterol levels, blood pressure, or even whether you smoke. When you have a real conversation with someone where you share genuine emotions and experiences, your brain releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone that reduces inflammation by up to 50%, lowers cortisol by 40%, and triggers the release of dopamine and serotonin that protect your neurons from age-related damage. The key word here is meaningful. Scrolling through social media or casual small talk at the grocery store doesn't count because your brain needs reciprocal emotional exchange, where you're both sharing and listening, creating what neuroscientists call interpersonal synchrony, where your brain waves literally align with the other person's. Research from the University of Michigan, following 3,500 senior women for 20 years, found that those who had daily meaningful social contact had telomeres equivalent to women 23 years younger, and their rate of cognitive decline was 70% slower than socially isolated women. The 30-minute minimum is based on brain imaging studies showing it takes about this long for your neural circuits to fully engage in social bonding mode, triggering the cascade of healing hormones and neurotransmitters that create what researchers call the biological buffer against aging. Face-to-face interaction is exponentially more powerful than phone calls or video chats because your mirror neurons, special cells that help you connect with others, are fully activated only when you can see facial expressions, body language, and subtle social cues that create true emotional resonance. Start by joining a walking group where you combine gentle exercise with conversation, or better yet, volunteer at a local organization where helping others provides what psychologists call helper's high that floods your system with endorphins while creating natural opportunities for connection. The Blue Zones research found that Okinawan women have something called a moai, a committed social group that meets regularly for their entire lives, and these women outlive American women by an average of 8 years with dramatically lower rates of heart disease, cancer, and dementia. Book clubs are incredibly powerful for senior women because discussing stories and ideas activates multiple brain regions simultaneously while providing structure for regular meaningful interaction. And research shows that women in book clubs have 40% better memory retention and verbal fluency than those who read alone. Religious or spiritual communities provide another powerful avenue for connection, with studies showing that women who attend services weekly live an average of 7 years longer, not because of the spiritual aspect necessarily, but because of the regular social contact and sense of belonging that comes with being part of a community. The biological mechanisms are stunning. When you laugh with friends, your body produces natural killer cells that destroy cancer cells and viruses, your blood vessels dilate, improving circulation, and your brain releases BDNF at levels similar to aerobic exercise. Intergenerational connections are especially powerful, with research showing that senior women who regularly interact with younger people, whether grandchildren or through mentoring programs, show increased neuroplasticity and cognitive flexibility equivalent to brains 15 years younger. The compound effect of daily social connection creates what longevity researchers call social immunity. Your body literally becomes more resistant to disease. Your stress response improves, so you recover faster from challenges, and your brain maintains its processing speed and memory formation abilities decades longer than isolated individuals. Physical touch amplifies these benefits exponentially, with just a 20-second hug releasing enough oxytocin to lower blood pressure for up to 6 hours, which is why cultures where physical affection is common have significantly longer lifespans and lower rates of age-related disease. The 30 minutes can be broken into smaller chunks. A 15-minute morning coffee with a neighbor and a 15-minute evening phone call with family counts, as long as the interactions involve genuine emotional exchange rather than surface-level pleasantries. These 5 habits work synergistically, each one amplifying the effects of the others to create a longevity protocol that rivals any medication or supplement on the market. The women who practice all 5 show biological ages up to 25 years younger than their chronological age, with energy levels, cognitive function, and physical capabilities that amaze their doctors and inspire their grandchildren. If this information could help someone you care about live a longer, healthier life, please subscribe and share this video with them today. Thanks for watching.